And we've focused on the under 30s, and what we've found is that there are so many financial strains on them at the moment. They've got, rising house prices, falling wages, and many of them have got huge student debts that they need to repay as soon as possible. So what we found is that saving for pensions, A, isn't a priority for a lot of them, and B, they really don't have enough money to make meaningful contributions. These new style student loans, I mean, the interest rates are not pretty. RPI plus 3, that debt is going to grow and grow and grow, and any financial advisor would tell you that the best thing to do is, if you're a graduate one of those loans, is to get that paid off as soon as possible. And if you're funneling all your resources into paying off that debt that other generations haven't had, you are not going to be able to afford to save for your pension. I think there is there's a lot of danger around the image of pensions. I mean, even the word pension, you think of pensioners, old, poor people, and nobody in their 20s wants to imagine themselves like that. And also, a lot of people may have seen their parents getting really terrible pension deals, or even, their pension companies going bust, and that sends a terrible message out. And there's a lot of bad press around pensions, and that hasn't come from nowhere. Well, I think even the government would admit that the current pension system is deeply flawed. There are so many things wrong with it. Having said that, it is better to have a pension than nothing, so I want to stress that. But, I mean, some of the things I've called for in the report, I would like to see 100% transparency on fees. It's not fair that we have to pay potentially hundreds of thousands of pounds each into a pension to have a comfortable retirement, and we don't even get to know the true cost of having that pension. We can't compare pension of pensions. We don't know whether we're getting value for money. The government is automatically enrolling people into workplace pensions at the moment, and those pensions are not perfect, but it would be better to have that pension than have nothing. So you should stay opted in if you are auto-enrolled into your workplace pension scheme. You will only be paying about 1% of your salary at the moment, and don't be fooled, that is nowhere near enough to build yourself a decent pension pot. But what you should be aiming to do is just gradually increase the amount you're putting in. What we found is a rather large pessimism around the government and their ability to provide a state pension for us in retirement. I think only 40% of people we surveyed were confident that they would get a basic state pension. So it shows that under 30s do know that this is their responsibility. They need to take responsibility for their own savings. The worst case scenario is that millions of young people will end up in dire poverty. And who knows what the world will be like in 50 years? Maybe we'll all be fantastically rich. Who knows? But the way things are going at the moment, if people don't save more for pensions, we will have a real crisis on our hands. People are living longer and longer, and the cost of care is going up as well. So we really do need to be saving more. But I think before people are going to be putting such big chunks of their money into pensions, the government just needs to do something about the pensions industry and really make it run more efficiently and clean it up and make that happen once and for all.